joining us once again on African Free Press Television. I trust that you're enjoying our programs. My name is Aritifa and I'm here with a news update at noon. National Emergency Management Agency today expressed its readiness to forcibly evacuate over 2,000 households in Gangare, Zamfara to avoid casualty in case of flood. NEMA's coordinator in charge of Sokoto Operations Office, Mr. Thigman Tanimo, made the disclosure in Gusau, explaining that the household will be evacuated from Gangare area near River Gusau in the state's capital. Tanimo also said the agency had organized training for stakeholders in disaster management on the importance of waste management and flood mitigation. He also revealed that a report from the State Emergency Management Agency indicates that the state government had over 10 years ago directed people to vacate the area, having paid their compensation, but they have refused to leave. Hopes for the federal government divesting its interest in the nation's refinery has been expected were dashed yesterday as the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) said the facilities are not for sale. Rather than selling the refineries as been expected, Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Ibe Kachiku, said joint venture partners with established track records of success in refining would be invited to support the running of the refineries to make them more efficient. Kachiku made the disclosure during an official tour of the Okrika Jetty and the Port Harcourt Refining Company Limited in Rivers State. Nigeria has retained 53rd position in the latest FIFA Global Rankings released today. Super Eagles will tackle Tanzania on Sunday for 2017 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. Algeria leads the continent at 19th position, followed by Cote d'Ivoire at 21, Ghana at 27, Tunisia 33, Senegal 38, Congo 42, Cameroon 42, Egypt 49, Nigeria 53 and Cape Verde Islands 56 make up the top 10 in Africa. Members of the House of Representatives yesterday summoned Finance Ministry, Budget Office, Fiscal Responsibility Commission, National Planning Commission, Debt Management Office and Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission to explain why the 2015 Appropriation Act is not being implemented. Also, the ad hoc committee headed by Representative Ahmed Patagi, set up by the 8th House of Assembly, will today commence a public hearing over non-implementation of 2015 budget. Officials of the MDAs are expected to come with enough evidence to convince the lawmakers that the 2015 Appropriation Act is on course. The House at plenary on August 13, 2015 had constituted an ad hoc committee to investigate the non-implementation of the budget following a motion prompted by Representative Patrick Asadu, representing Enugu PDP, on the matters of urgent public importance. Asadu had accused the federal government of abandoning the implementation of the 2015 budget and capital projects almost midway into the third quarter of the financial year. Nigeria's former aviation minister, Stella Odua, has filed a lawsuit against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to prevent the agency's further investigation into the procurement of 2 bulletproof BMW cars at $800,000 apiece during her tenure in office. In the lawsuit filed before Justice Mohammed Yunusa of the Federal High Court in Lagos, Ms. Odua joined the Attorney General of the Federation, the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, and the Inspector General of Police as co-respondents. Ms. Odua, who is now a senator from Anambra State, sought Justice Yunusa's intervention to ensure the protection of her fundamental rights. Her lawsuit accused the All Progressives Congress (APC) of seeking to repress her. Her lawsuit urged the court to prohibit the respondent from inviting, arresting or prosecuting her in respect to any allegation of corruption during her ministerial tenure. Justice Yunusa adjourned the case till October 2, 2015 for hearing. He also ordered that all the court process should be served on the respondents. He further directed the respondents to stay all action in the matter, pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suits. Guatemalan President Otto Perez Molina has resigned amidst the growing political scandal that has seen his former vice president sent to jail and threatened to disrupt upcoming presidential elections. According to a spokesman, Perez Molina, 64, submitted his resignation at midnight local time. The announcement came after a Guatemalan judge issued an unprecedented court order against Guatemala's head of state as part of a fraud scandal that has engulfed its government. The order was not for arrest, but required that Perez Molina answer questions from Judge Miguel Angel Galvia. Perez Molina had his immunity from prosecution stripped by lawmakers on Tuesday in a fast-moving climax to a crisis that has roiled Guatemala for months. The president will have to appear before the judge on accusation of illicit association, fraud, and receiving bribe money in a customs racket. The scandal has already claimed the job of former Vice President Roxana Baldetti, whose former personal secretary was named as the alleged ringleader. Baldetti, who says she is innocent, resigned May 8 and is currently in jail awaiting trial on accusations she took millions of dollars in bribes. Perez Molina, who also maintains his innocence, has promised to face the legal process. No formal charges have been filed, though Aldana said there is a preliminary investigation underway into the president's possible involvement in the fraud ring. Bodies of 10 Ugandan soldiers in Somalia have been flown home. 12 Ugandan soldiers were killed in Tuesday's raid on an African Union base in southern Somalia. Ugandan troops are part of a 22,000-strong AU force battling the militants. Despite losing most of its key strongholds in south and central Somalia, Al-Shabaab continues to carry out attacks on the government and AU troops across the country. The militants also staged frequent suicide attacks in Mogadishu. Hungary's leader says the migrant crisis facing Europe is a German problem, since Germany is where those arriving in the EU would like to go. PM Viktor Orban said Hungary would not allow migrants to leave its territory without registering. His comments come as Hungarian authorities opened the main rail station in Budapest to hundreds of migrants after a 2-day standoff, but international services from the station were indefinitely suspended. EU rules place responsibility for assessing asylum claims on the country where a migrant first arrives. Many of the migrants currently in Hungary have been refusing to register there in order to continue their journeys to Germany before seeking asylum. The human cost of the crisis was also put into sharp focus on Wednesday when 5 children were among 12 migrants who drowned in Turkish waters while trying to reach Greece. For more news, you can follow us on Twitter at African Free Press. Like African Free Press on Facebook, and you can visit our website www.africanfreepress.com. My name is Arit A. Farah. Good afternoon, Africa. Relax and enjoy the rest of our programs.